are some of the people that you admire?
Some of the people that I admire. You know, they actually have characteristics more than a single name associated with them. They're usually people who have had steadfast faith and tenacity and overcome just some absolutely things that profound us. Like last night, for example, I saw Cody Lee on America's Got Talent. I watched on YouTube, and he's blind and autistic. Mm-hmm. And then when he sat down at the piano and started playing Donny Hathaway's song, I reacted from my home the way everybody else was reacting, like, oh my gosh, I did not expect that. And to know that there's a voice inside of all of us, there's potential within all of us that's often we don't even know ourselves is there. I think it's those kind of characteristics and kindness. Yeah, I think those are great strengths.
I'll do the easy one. I admire Gail. I do. No, I really do. It's kind of like, I say there's always like happenstance. I always look at things that happen, but I met Gail through her son. Her and I worked together at a startup, and we had a real talk one day where
My son. Yeah.
Her son Angel and I, we had a real talk where he sat me down and he asked me, what is it that I dreamt about doing when I was a little girl? And I was like, I answered it, but afterwards he was like, that's the questions my mom would always ask me. We should always tell us, like, think about what we wanted to do. And when I told him my vision of doing art and traveling, he's like, if you want to stay at this company, I will 100% be behind you. But if there's anything that you want to do outside of this, you need to go do it. And I was like, well, I did secretly file for this company a couple months ago. And I told him about it, and he was like, you should quit. And when you do, I'm going to introduce you to my mom because she's doing similar stuff. And I did. And for the last 5 years, we've collaborated and done a lot of stuff together. And I've seen her just take something that was just like a little idea and just run with it. And it's just it was just amazing to see that.
That's kind of you.
Yeah.
And so this booklet, were you part of the compilation of this booklet?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
That's
great.
her. That's her company.
Yeah.
That's wrote the art of.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it together. We split up the creation of it, and she created some activities. I created some of the activities. A lot of the ones that are art-centered were ones that I created based off of activities that we do together at our programs, or ones that I do when we're teaching
You're talking
art.
about Girls Fly program.
Girls Fly and Road to Artdom activities that I do when...
So you have your own separate...
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a really great thing. It kind of works together. Girls Fly is Gail, and Road to Artdom is my organization.
Oh, and so do you bring young people in, or who do you bring in to do this?
Young people, all ages. I kind of live by the philosophy that it's one thing for you to dream to do something, but if you don't have a support system around you or a community that finds that it's important, that dream can easily die, even with the most motivated person. So whenever I do our art project, it's very much centered around, I'm trying to get parents to sit down and do the art classes with us. I'm trying to get the community, because if that kid goes home and is excited and their parents or their family support system see no value in what they're doing, it'll die. So I make sure that it's all ages, and that if I can, a lot of times I pay attention to the kid, but if I see the parent off the side and disinterested, I spend more time trying to get the parent involved than I do with the kid, because the kid's going to be there. But if I could get the parent to get excited, then it's going to be easier, because then they're going to have a ride to come back. They're going to have someone that's okay. If they're at the dollar store and they see a little paint set, they might be okay with getting them something, or they might see the value in it themselves. So.
And so where do you advertise? Do you go to schools? How do you bring people to this program that you have?
What we do together is, let me back up so that everyone understands. So Girls Fly, we work in 4 different areas: aviation, arts, athletic, and equine. And so the arts component, one of the arts component is what's in partnership with Tatiana. An example, we do culinary arts, performing arts, visual arts. We did something in March in downtown Los Angeles in the Arts District. Actually, Tatiana was a part of the lead on that, where I brought in the local muralists. And it's really, for Girls Fly, a message associated with all the good that's around us and looking at it with fresh eyes. And then looking for and experiencing in the moment opportunities to reconnect with a belief that's been held in a secret place or the soft parts of who we are. And so in this case, the part of that training program in downtown LA with the muralists was to show transformation through hands-on arts activities and how that personal transformation can also influence external transformation. And the Arts District is a great example of that, and the muralists are, because many years ago I used to have a company there and there was no Arts District. It was a very kind of grimy, blighted place, and so they met some of the visionaries who had a dream that took their resources and through their own personal stories of transformation wanted to influence change in that district, which has evolved into the Arts District. So that's an example of how our partnership has been working with the arts. We do the same thing with equine partners. We took a group of college interns through equine training, leadership training, equine therapy, and so all the different ways of leading and being able to have influence and voice to inspire not only ourselves but those out that we influence within our community and in our homes. So the outreach happens with LA County Parks, Home Depot. We have Barnes & Noble coming up for Finding Your Written Voice.
Global partners.
We have global partners. We just launched the Girls Fly Disney partnership as a part of the leadership training. We work with high schools, but we also do programs and are very intentional about including women and girls who feel the most invisible, those with disabilities, those who are immigrants, those who are veterans.
I actually have a suggestion or a question about that. I'm actually running for Miss Veteran America, but like it's not about it's not like a pageant or like about winning, but the person who wins becomes like the voice or the person who's trying to spread word about homeless female veterans and their children, because 70% of them have kids, and they are exactly what you said. They're invisible. When you say veteran, most people think older Caucasian male, but what I actually, and I'm very ignorant of this as well because I didn't know, but homeless female veterans are the fastest growing group of homeless
That's correct.
anywhere.
That's
So
correct.
I was actually going to ask you like about your outreach and everything you possibly, because they actually do have women who might be able to get therapy through art and expressing themselves because they like they went and now they're able to go on the front lines, and then they come back and it's like they just get disposed of. So
The answer is yes. We'll talk.
Yes.
We'd love to. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I was just out at the Proud Bird, and they have one little room where they have a pictorial of some of the Tuskegee Airmen, and they have the women too. And they never talk about the women when they talk about the people, the aviators. And I thought that was so awesome that they didn't have a lot, but they had a few photos of the women. You know what I mean? So what you're saying is very important, that the stereotype of who's out there needs to be changed. And all inclusive. So.
there's a group of African American females in World War II. I think they called it the 8666 or something like that, and they were ignored. But they finally, I think just this past Memorial Day, finally got the recognition they deserved, and there's just a handful of that still are alive.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so they're finally getting the recognition, but it's 2019.
One of those 4 categories, they would come.
Not able. Outside of the categories.
Outside the categories as well. Because on the back of your shirt, you'll see what have you always dreamed of doing. So we'll take, for example, it depends on the community or the particular events that we're hosting or who we're partnering with. So last year,